YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Benji, and we back on TV. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. We love all things entertainment this way. We love wrestling too, even though it's stressing us out. It's stressing us out, man. We fresh off of WWE Backlash, and I got a lot to talk about. All right, so first match of the night with Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. I gave y'all this easy prediction early on. I said Jacob Fatu retains. Didn't see a reason why he wouldn't. And, of course, that's what we got. I mean, for what I expected the match to be, there were some dope moments for sure. I mean, of course, it's nice when LA Knight gets the offense in. It's nice, of course, to see Drew McIntyre. And, of course, it's dope that Damian Priest gets a shot. Unfortunately, I hate it for, these three guys because it seems like they've been busting their tails over the last 2 years trying to, one, get over, trying to, two, seize the opportunity that's in front of them. But, unfortunately, their 2025 has been wasted time, each and every one of them. We got to see Damian Priest's hard work and development culminate in him becoming the World Heavyweight Champion and having a solid reign. And he individually proven himself to be worthy of single stardom. We got Drew McIntyre putting together one of the greatest 2024s, one of the most captivating characters of 2024. Dude, I read his book. Legitimately solid. I just don't know what's been going on in 2025. I mean, we started the year off with him potentially being a bloodline hunter and even siding with Solo Sikoa to ensure that he walks clean of the bloodline, to ensure that he takes everybody else out that's in the bloodline. But that's not what we got, because that was trashed very shortly, and then Drew McIntyre just went on meaningless chases. In order to try and rectify his 2024, he decided to go against Damian Priest. And we all thought he eliminated him in a Vegas street fight. And nah, these guys are back at it again. Strangely enough, Drew McIntyre won the number one contender match in order to ensure himself an opportunity to even get the United States Championship. But that just seemed like it didn't matter at all, and Drew was one of the few people that makes sense and pointed it out. That nothing lines up. That's what we're all saying, Drew. We're all saying it doesn't make any sense. We all understand the amount of work that you put in, and we don't understand why you keep getting screwed. Crazy work. I mean, this match ended, of course, with Jacob Fatu winning. I mean, there was some dope spots, dope moments. Unfortunately, it looked like it was a moment where Drew McIntyre might have gotten hurt. Again, the guy just puts it all on the line, bro. I think it's meaningless, though, that he's putting it all on the line because, of course, 2024, for all three of these guys, was in the pursuit of gold. We finally saw it become... we all saw it come to fruition for LA Knight in SummerSlam when he won the United States Championship, and it seemed like he was going to be headed in the right direction because he was accepting every single person that would show up to the arena as a challenger. And then for some strange reason, he lost to Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke disappeared for 2 months, and then I was the title back. That didn't make any sense. And then I was the title back, and he just continues to get stuck in the bloodline vortex to ultimately lose the title to Jacob Fatu. And then he teams with these guys against the bloodline again to then lose again in this fatal four-way. So none of us know what LA Knight is doing. I mean, 2023-24 for him was in pursuit of the World Heavyweight Championship, or at the very least, what he really wanted was the WWE Universal Championship that Roman Reigns / Cody Rhodes was holding. But I guess apparently now that John Cena's holding it, LA Knight can never get a piece of that pie. All right. So it seems like everything's going to be headed to our boy Solo Sikoa having some beef with Jacob Fatu. We've seen a little bit of the dissension between the two guys. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Solo, you were supposed to acknowledge our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. You were supposed to make Jacob and the rest of the bloodline acknowledge Roman Reigns after you lost to Ulufala. Why are you still calling plays? You not the head honcho anymore. Last time any of us checked, Jacob was the one with gold. The Tongans had gold. Why would anybody be listening to Solo Sikoa? Anyways, we introduced Jeff Cobb to this. I mean, we literally done this how many times? So, I don't really have any interest in this, but whatever. Shout out to Jacob. Now, where do any of these other guys go afterwards? Only God knows. There's a clear, direct path for this guy, but again, for the rest of these dudes that put the blood, sweat, and tears on the line over the last year, I don't know what this is going to mean for any of them. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Damian Priest. I mean, I don't know what this does for any of these guys. I like to say, too, in total, like, I think that it's dope that, you know, we're getting at least a little glimpse of these triple threat matches and fatal four ways. It's cool. They're exciting. I'm not one of those people that are super against it. I just think it's lazy that, you know, all these matches end up this way to at least try and promote some type of intrigue for the PLEs. And I think, unfortunately, we have a locker room full of guys that could go, but they're missing out on any opportunity to get on the PLE. I mean, we've been just seeing the same faces recycle on these PLEs. And I think that's why a lot of people get upset when releases happen. And it's people that never got to see the light of day, even though, rightfully so, there should have been. And I think, again, the intrigue behind Backlash was kind of watered down because it didn't seem as if this should have been anything that it was. I mean, if we just look at the entire match card. Yeah, y'all talking about this is the best PLE of the year. All right, sure, whatever. The match card had Becky and Lyra, Drew, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Jacob Fatu, Gunther and Pat McAfee, Dom and Penta, and then Randy Orton and Cena. I don't know. I don't quite understand why this is something that we should be overly excited for. Again, it's dope that Lyra got an opportunity. And this gives us a reason for any of us to care about Lyra. But again, there's a locker room full of people, and we're just regurgitating the same people that have been on every single PLE. I mean, this is finally a PLE where we're not seeing Rhea and Liv. But unfortunately, over the last year, you've done a terrible job trying to build up the women's division, so nobody even knows who Lyra is or what her motivations are. At least we're getting an opportunity to flesh out her character with this match with Becky Lynch. I'm okay with that. But again, you've effectively done a terrible job building any other competitors for the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. So you have to bring Becky Hogan out of retirement in order to have this moment. Now, I'm going to get to that match in a second. And let's actually talk about it right now. Is why Becky Hogan may be a name that we have to just throw in the trash. End of the day, Becky Lynch lost. Okay? Valkyria beat her. Again, this is something I predicted. This ended in a roll-up win for Lyra. And then Becky Lynch starts to beat on her again. And so it's obviously not going to be the last moment for this feud. And maybe we get an opportunity to try and tie in Bayley to this. But why I got to give the Becky Hogan thing up? Because, again, she lost. She mentioned that she didn't want to be compared to that despicable human being. And she was willing to do her best to shine a light on Lyra. And that's why I said I got to salute her for this. Because prior to this, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really have much intrigue about Lyra as a character. I didn't know what her motivations were. I didn't know what her purpose was. I barely even heard her talk. So at least we get to see what she's about. Right? We all knew she was pretty good in the ring. But I didn't really understand why any of us should care. So it's good to see that Lyra stands on something. Now, I think reintroducing Bayley to this could point a couple fingers in a couple different directions that maybe Lyra's not as innocent as she seems, or at the very least, she can take sides. Now, back to the side of things. Penta and Dom. Now, of course, our glorious king, Dominik Mysterio, won this match like I predicted as well. And of course, it was the way I predicted. It was going to be a bunch of intrusions from the Judgment Day. But it actually led to the true final assist was a Grande Americano. And I mean, look, a lot of people are going to make plenty of arguments about Grande Americano. The dude won the Speed Championship on Cinco de Mayo against Dragon Lee, which is kind of crazy. But I think there's plenty of directions that a Grande Americano could head into. And it's very obvious that Penta, your time is up. We just keep spamming the same matches over and over and over and over and over again. We've seen Penta and Dom match up already multiple times leading up to this event in multiple different variations. I mean, dude, one of his introductions to the PLEs was him against Dom's dad, Rey Mysterio. Those two guys going at it for a while in the Royal Rumble. Truthfully, it doesn't seem like Rey Fenix has a direction to head in SmackDown, and the both of these guys, if you pay attention, had just been getting beat up and again becoming victims of the numbers game. So it seems very, very, very obvious the Lucha Bros are going to reunite. Penta and his brother Rey Fenix will have each other's back and try and save, hopefully, Raw's tag team division. So shout out to these boys. I'm glad Dom got his opportunity, but we could have gave somebody else, this shot. I mean, truthfully so. Or we lead up to this a little better. I mean, like, for as good as the match could have been, or it doesn't matter. We've seen it already. The intrigue is gone. I just went on a rant. It wasn't recorded. But regardless, this dude right here, Pat McAfee, is a commentator. He sits and talks about the wrestlers, and in this other world, he sits and talks about NFL players. He should not even sit in the same building, let alone the same ring as Gunther. He's not fit to talk about it. From this direction, from this angle, and this perspective, he should not be in there to go blow for blow with this dude. Again, like I mentioned, I get it. Michael Cole wanted him to win. I get it. There's a moment or two where Gunther should be surprised. Oh, shoot. This dude is actually almost in a position to beat me. His own cockiness and bravado could end up being his own worst enemy, which I get, because that's something that we saw teased that led to his downfall when we saw him lose the Intercontinental Championship to Sami Zayn and then lose the World Heavyweight Championship to Jey Uso. Yeah, I get that. But why is this even a struggle? We literally watched him choke the heck out of this dude on Raw. And then the following week, the dude comes back and says, you know what, I want to challenge you. And then everybody's like, wait a minute, what are you getting yourself into here? So, other than a couple quick, I would have been cool with a quick roll-up or two. Michael Cole tries to help finesse. And then Gunther says, whoa, I almost lost. Oof. Let's get back to business. And starts beating the heck out of these dudes. That's how that match should have went. That's it. And I'd have been cool with a couple near falls. And then, boom, just like he was doing to Tower. Boom, put you on the mat. All right, just kidding. I'm not done with you yet. That's how that should have went. This is the same dude that promised us 10 weeks of hell, leading up to his WrestleMania 41 match against Jey Uso. Unfortunately, we didn't really see any character development over those 10 weeks because he never really put Jey Uso through hell. So if it was one thing, if he put him through all this terror turmoil, and then we got to see Jey Uso triumph and emerge from the ashes like a phoenix right before WrestleMania 41, leading Gunther to be genuinely concerned and then lose, that would have been something. And then if we could have saw Gunther really questioning himself as to, is he really cut for this? That could have made a little bit of sense. But again, we even saw in last year the dude matching up against Damian Priest, and he was over there scared and questioning himself. Dang, am I really the ring general? That didn't really culminate in much. And now we seeing this. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those dudes, but y'all talking about them, they nailed it. Sure, I mean, sure, it was a solid match. But why is it a solid match? It shouldn't have been a solid match. That's the entire problem. The dude that has been a champion almost the majority of the last 3 years is fighting a commentator. Now, again, this is not like Wade Barrett. This is none of that. It's not like Booker T at the very least. A dude that's had experience winning championships with gold in the WWE coming out of retirement. Nothing like Nick Aldis, who at the very least is still in wrestling shape and has been a champion in multiple countries. None like that. It is Pat McAfee. This is a dude that's been sitting behind the desk for the majority of his WWE tenure. And only for spoof matches should this dude be in the ring. And spoof moments. Remember when Pat McAfee was selected to be in the Royal Rumble? And he walks over there and sees Braun Breaker and Omos in the ring. He says, "Oh, I'm not cut for this," and gets out the ring. How is that the same dude that y'all are rooting for to beat the ring general, Gunther? The dude that spent 2 years being an Intercontinental Champion. The dude that spent nearly a year being the World Heavyweight Champion directly afterward. The dude that only has less than a handful of losses in the WWE was actually supposed to go toe-to-toe with Pat McAfee and almost lost. And y'all are parading around about it, the fact that it was a good match, and y'all are excited. Like that makes any sense. I told y'all I was going to be upset. I told y'all. And rightfully so. It makes no sense. I get he choked the dude out. But then after the match, instead of just continuing to show how merciless and ruthless and savage and dominant you are, you let Pat McAfee go and you actually show him and Michael Cole your respects? You've lost the plot, man. The final match of the evening was Randy Orton and John Cena for the last time. This is Randy Orton's home state, so it seemed only right to get this moment here. Again, my prediction started to be true. Randy Orton lost. There was a lot of fun moments. A lot of people actually saying this is one of the better matches between the two guys. And that's a good thing because I remember telling y'all that in ring it wasn't nothing I was going to be excited for. So dope that they got to at least share this moment again. A lot of people are complaining because rtruth ended up being the caveat or the asterisk in the win here for John Cena.
Hey, JC! Hey, congratulations, man. I am so proud of you. I never gave up. I've always supported you. You know, we got a lot of history. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, dog? I'm so proud of you. Even if people say you suck and can't wrestle.
Ron, that was over the line. You say one more thing. I promise there'll be repercussions.
But I just want to tell you.
Shout out to the great one on YouTube for that clip, but y'all are trying to lie to yourselves and just act like this really matters. Now, okay. It's a better angle than Travis Scott. I give you that. One of the few matches that John Cena wrestled in 2024 was him returning to match up with rtruth. rtruth has been running around, parading around, saying that this dude is a childhood hero. rtruth is also known to be a compulsive liar and out of his mind. So, I don't know why any of y'all are running with that angle. He's a childhood hero. He's a liar. But anyways, cool. The one last person that would believe in John Cena is now turning on John Cena. Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever, sure. Should I care that he put him through a table? Not really. I honestly, like, again, what is John Cena's purpose? What is his motive? Why are y'all actually believing that this guy is a bad guy? The dude was literally crying after the match when people were chanting, "Thank you, Cena." I'm not playing around. The dude was distraught. Dude was fighting back tears. It looks like we're about to be pulling the plug on this whole John Cena heel thing very, very, very early. I told y'all he wasn't going to retire as a heel. No one believes it. It doesn't make any sense. You can't just flip the script, turn the switch, and have any of us care about this dude becoming a heel when the last 20 years he's been all about hustle, loyalty, and respect. I mean, come on. The dude is Mr. Make-A-Wish. And then suddenly his whole reasoning for turning to a bad guy is, I want to end professional wrestling the way we know it and take this belt home. Okay, no one cares. Take the belt home. Who cares? We literally saw a segment the other day with Cody Rhodes showed every iteration of the WWE Championship. All right, if you take it home, they're going to make a new one. All right? They was going to make a new one anyways. Doesn't matter. But, I mean, we saw the multiple iterations of the belt while Roman Reigns was still champion. I mean, what are we talking about? What? So, okay, take the belt home. That's fine. Put it in the crib. Like, what is he talking about? And all y'all are sticking to this thing they're talking about. He's going to ruin wrestling. John Cena himself has admitted that he can't truly ruin wrestling because there's going to be a show. There's always going to be another champion. There's always going to be a wrestler. What are y'all talking about? Ruin wrestling. He's not going to ruin anything. He doesn't have a clear motive. And y'all fed for it. And y'all fell for it. The dude talking about the crowd. Y'all have been fickle. You even say thank you, Cena, and then follow it up with Cena sucks. You don't even know which direction to choose. I'm not buying it. Why did you run errands for The Rock? When The Rock told you to do what you had to do to Cody Rhodes, why did you do it? It's not like it led to you just instantly becoming a champion. You entered into the Elimination Chamber. Now, I think that was sick work, the way he entered into it, because he never had to qualify. He won. So, rightfully so, the winner of the Elimination Chamber should get themselves a title championship match at WrestleMania. We saw the road was a little bit rocky for Bianca Belair, but at the end of the day, she still did get that championship opportunity. John Cena then wins championship. So, all that other fluff in the middle of that shouldn't really matter. Okay, so what? He low blowed Cody Rhodes in order to win the championship. He low blowed Cody Rhodes in order to signify that I'm not on your side heading into the championship match. Okay. Why was he taking orders from The Rock? Why was he getting help from Travis Scott? Why was he getting help from rtruth? I let the rtruth stuff slide. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna let it slide with the rtruth. I get it. One last fan, I get it. Yeah. One last fan, he turns on him. Sure. Whatever. But this dude that went from crying here to then RKOing, I'm sorry, attitude adjustment. Have I been saying RKO this whole time? Anyways, but he hits R2 for the attitude adjustment / FU through a table in the conference. Doesn't seem like he's going to be a face anytime soon. People are already speculating too that R2 and John Cena are going to match up at Saturday Night Main Event. I mean, don't even get me started, bro. I don't even want to get upset like that. Now, I mean, all in all, Backlash in the ring, solid. Did it advance anything? Not really. Not at all. Maybe it has us all questioning what's the next step for Jacob Fatu. We were all questioning that anyways. We were all already trying to figure out what was the next iteration of Jacob Fatu and Soul Skull going to look like, or at least the first iteration of that. How did we get there? The dissension between the two is evident. They're not on the same page. Okay, cool. I don't think we need to add Jeff Cobb to that just to prove that. Becky Lynch and Lyra. Okay, I guess it looks like they're going to still be beefing. There's also no clear direction for what's next for John Cena. We got a little bit of tease of CM Punk posting and doing on his TV. I mean, dude, CM Punk's been posting his clips of John Cena since John Cena announced his retirement tour. And y'all are acting like this is a big deal when, let's remember, CM Punk just ran out to fight against Seth Rollins on Monday. That just happened. So I guess since you're cool with Jey Uso, I'm not really going to worry about fighting you, even though CM Punk himself mentioned that Cody Rhodes would have a lot of enemies, and CM Punk wouldn't mind being one of those enemies just to secure himself that championship belt that now John Cena has. So why would he? I guess since he doesn't care about the World Heavyweight Championship, even though in 2024 one of his tasks was to try and secure the World Heavyweight Championship. All right, but y'all, because he posted John Cena in this story, y'all saying this is obviously the next challenger. Heading into Saturday night's main event, we're gonna get Jey Uso, Logan Paul. Possible. I don't even want to start. John Cena and rtruth was crazy work in 2025. I'm gonna leave it at that. What are the next steps for Gunther? What did him fighting against? Like, why not give this match spot to somebody else? Let the Street Profits get a PLE match. I would have been cool with Fraxium fighting against the Street Profits, banged up at Backlash. Or at the very least, Fraxium matching up with any of the other tag teams to try and get themselves a number one contendership match. That would have been a good match. I'd have been cool with the Judgment Day matching him against Fraxium or something like that. Like, and if we just want cool matches just for the sake of having cool matches, if we're just throwing stuff in there, and why not? Gunther just choked out Pat McAfee 2 weeks ago. And then the next week, the dude Pat McAfee says, you know what? Instead of me being fearful of you, what I'm going to do is show up and challenge you for a PLE match. It just washes away the entire severity of him being choked out on TV in order to defend his friend Michael Cole. We could have got something else. Like, this match card was what it was. Good in the ring. Makes no sense. And that's how everything's been over the last year. I'm going to head into Raw with a positive outlook. And I'll see y'all again.